And you know how we start the show, ladies and gentlemen, with the home team, baby. You want to talk about? Hey, you don't want to talk about your home team? You don't want to talk about the home team?
You know what? I'm always down to talk about the home team, Sean. As you guys saw, the Cowboys got absolutely demolished by both quarterbacks that are currently active on the squad. Kenny Pickett came in. Michael Parsons gave him a heck of a hit, sent him out the game. And, Sean, the third string came in. The third string came in. And at that point, I'm like, you know what? The third string, by God, we should be able to stop the third string. Went down, scored a touchdown, and at that moment is when I turned the TV off. And I realized that we are done. We are done. We are done. We've been done as far as playoffs. But I can go ahead, wash my hands, put my pillow on the couch, put my blanket up, and I can go ahead and start enjoying this next phase for the playoffs. Oh, yeah. Because Dallas just sucks. Breaking news, they did release Ezekiel Elliott today in hopes that he may be able to hop on as a backup to a playoff team. I don't see that happening with any of the teams that are out there, but you never know how the league is. Shout out to Zeke coming back. It is what it is, ladies and gentlemen. The Dallas Cowboys sadly will not be at the Super Bowl this year. I know there was high expectations of us making it to the Super Bowl.
From this person.
every year. But breaking news, ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't heard, 2025, 2026 season, the Dallas Cowboys are going to win the Super Bowl. Said it already.
Already?
Got it out the way.
Are we doing it already? Oh,
got it
Lord.
out the way. But Sean, there's some smiles on this camera today because my boy finally clinched, and they are in the playoffs for the first time since 2020, where they went home first round. But they are in. They are in. Sean, go ahead and let us hear it.
I just want to thank my coach, the former Cowboys coach, Dan Quinn. I want to thank all the Cowboys players that found it in their heart to move to the W and come to Washington. I want to thank my quarterback, Jaden Daniels. And what were they chanting in that game this past weekend? MVP. What? I don't know. I'm just saying. But look, I'm not gonna act. You know me. I am honest. I call it like it is. And this game was stressful. But we got to bring in the guy who we played against, longtime friend of the show, our guy, Mr. Kyle Yacey. What up, Kyle?
What up? Happy New Year's, guys. Hey,
Kyle, it was a close one. Very close. Missed field goal by 2 yards. But how does it feel after that game? How do you feel about Michael Penix? How do you feel about just the way it's going?
Honestly, it's been a roller coaster of emotions with this team this year. Thinking that Kirk Cousins is going to be the guy, doing well, and then, the going to the bottom of the hill. You're reaching the bottom of the roller coaster. Like, we're going back up. No, we're not. We're not moving. We're not moving. But no, it's been good. I've liked what I've seen out of Michael Penix in the last couple of games. I have this thing about left-handed quarterbacks where I don't really trust it, but I guess I got to roll with that train now. Yeah, it was a good game. We looked like a great team in the first half. I thought, like, oh my God, like what is this team? Like, are we just starting to gel? We're starting to find our chemistry. Is that what's going on? And then, typical Falcon fashion, we fell off. Lots to be said.
But you went down. You tied the game. I mean, it had to have felt good at that moment. You were able to get that stop against Washington at the end of the game. And then all of a sudden, it's like it's in your court. You got the pass interference and just a way.
It's tough because, like, I think the refs did us favors this game. I'll be honest. Like, Washington, they were beating themselves up. Like, the amount of
don't tell Sean that. Don't tell Sean that.
Well, no, he knows it. The stats speak for themselves. I'm not going to try and lie here, but, like, at the same time, going back to Washington, going into the playoffs, they do that. They're out first round. Like you can't go 90 yards of penalties and expect to win a game. You got to be more disciplined than that. But again, that comes with experience too, right? There's a lot of new coaches around, and that's what I'm going to touch on is Raheem Morris, because the big talk of that game is clock management. 2 words.
Yes.
So you can't be doing that. There was a lot of inexperience in that game. Whether it was from Michael Penix, with his anxiety and just completing those passes, but he's still young, so take that for what it is. Dickerson, the replacement kicker, missing that field goal, which that would have clutched the victory again. Can't be doing that. And then Raheem Morris letting 20 seconds slide off the clock. You can't be doing that. Any experienced coach, they will take that time and they will do whatever they can. And that
you had timeouts. It was like, why are you not going to use them?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Why would you go and end a game with timeouts in your pocket? That makes no sense. So I don't know. I'm sure he's heard it all by now at this point, but he probably won't be doing that in the near future. But
well, if he has the shot to do it in the near future, because
I think you got to roll with it a bit.
I agree. I completely agree. And what he's been able to do with you guys, like you guys had the game. It was 17-7 at the half. What you all were doing in the first half, it was like the second half stuff switched up. I was like, okay,
100%.
Is this JD5? I mean, it was just Jaden, because none of the rest of our team was doing anything.
Yeah, no, I don't agree. All we need is Zacchaeus. He looked like a top receiver in that game. Man. That's unreal.
I'll give you him. But even still, even with Olamide Zacchaeus, it was few and far between. Like you said, we cannot rely on that come playoff time. Absolutely. You know what I mean? We need more consistency, and we definitely cannot rely on giving the other team a 17-7 lead at half. But I gotta shout out one guy on your team. You mentioned him years ago to me when you and I talked. AJ Terrell is that guy.
But he's not consistent.
He's a dog. He's a dog.
A great game. He's actually had a great season too. But at the same time, it's tough because you look at it last season. He was letting people slide, and he wasn't stopping those players, and he played a great game for sure. My issue with this game wasn't necessarily the cornerbacks. In my opinion, the cornerbacks, the corners were covered. They were good. I saw more than ever in this game particularly how the inexperience with the edge rushers, or even the aging of the edge rushers for the Falcons, that's tough. You got to be able to finish those tackles. You got to be able to get to the quarterback. And sure, we got a couple of sacks. Take that for what you will, right? But just seeing how slow Grady Jarrett looked out there too was tough. That was tough.
Yep.
And it's
look, who is number 55? Caden Ellis?
Yeah, Caden Ellis is the star right now of the Falcons defense. Coming from
I didn't know who this guy was.
Phenomenal. He's phenomenal, man. And
he
his
made
brother
some noise.
too.
He definitely made some noise.
I think his brother plays for either the Broncos or the Bears, but his brother also is really good. I can't remember what his name is though, but I know he has a brother in the league too that's playing really well.
Okay.
Yeah, he's a monster. He showed up. He dominating and sacks and this and that. And I'm sitting here looking at the sheet and looking at the stats. I'm like, who is this guy?
That's the guy to watch out for,
every play. Yeah.
That's the guy who you put the money in. And that's the thing is the Falcons are going to have, regardless of what happens with Kirk Cousins this season, it's going to be a lot of dead money. It's just a matter of how much dead money the Falcons are going to have.
Absolutely.
So, let's talk about that. Obviously, that's the connection. We were looking for Kirk, Mr. You Like That, coming back to D.C. to play in a game that meant the playoffs. And then all of a sudden, they bench him. What, 1 touchdown and 9 interceptions the last 5 games?
Yeah.
What happened?
Who knows, man? Him coming back, what was it, that ACL or MCL tear that he had, right?
The Achilles, yeah. Yeah,
the Achilles tear. That's a huge injury to come and recover from. So
it is.
I don't know. Maybe that's just starting to get to him. Age too, man. He's been in the league for a while. He's been a top quarterback for a long time, but the game is changing. It's evolving, right? You look at these quarterbacks. Look at Jaden Daniels. You'll look at, even Bo, right, in Dallas. You look at Caleb Williams is besides the point. We don't really know what he has yet because there's a lot going on there. But a lot of these new and up and coming quarterbacks are fast. And not only that, these defenders, these edge rushers, they're huge. They're huge and they're fast, right? So the thing is if you can't keep up with the league, right, and keep up with like the speed of it, you're going to be left behind. Oh no, Janae, you got something to say?
No, the comment, man. They want me to keep Rush over Dak. I'm like, you see what Rush did with the Eagles? I mean, nothing.
Dallas is in no rush to start.
You know what, though?
That's just
no.
Dallas had a bad season. I don't know. Don't get me wrong. I trash talk Dallas a lot. Okay, but hear me out. You can't chalk up one really bad season and say that there's that there's a whole systemic issue. Yeah. Like why are we talking about trading Dak right now? Like that's so stupid. Like if anything,
thank you. I agree.
Like at this point, I'd be like, you know what? Okay, maybe it is time for a coaching change, and that's what should happen in Dallas. Dallas should have a coaching change, but do they need to go and completely revamp and re-weaponize their team? No, by all means they don't.
I'm not on board with that. We had so many injuries this year. I mean, every week there was an injury. I'm over it. It's okay. I am cried myself to sleep many nights, but shout out to Washington. I have to say that I was very impressed. I mean, you just cannot sleep on J5. Like he's going to. He gives you that chance. I mean, literally every Washington fan, Washington players, they're not scared when it comes down to needing one drive to be able to get it done.
Yeah. And it's exciting to see him. And to finally have him on, have a player like that on our team. Obviously, I was one who put out that similarity to him and RG3, but they're miles apart. Yep. When you listen to Jaden talk in those post-game interviews, when you see the type of person he is, he sits there. There was one play late in the game where he's scrambling. He kind of has his back turned, and your defender just gets him a great rib shot. And he's sitting here down on his knee and everything, but you see he got a little smirk on his face. And it's like, what? I know you're in pain, but his demeanor is just like it's
he just never can never shake that man up. Hey, Alex said, I'm just here so I won't get fined. Hey, they said, hey, Kirk was the top of a top QB. What the F? Yeah, Kirk. Yeah, Kirk.
Wait.
It's a Kirk Simber. They said Kirk Simber. He always shits the bed. Kirk Simber.
Well, hold on. Let's see what Misador said before. It's a Cowboys fan's favorite day of the year. Tomorrow's actually a new year. Next year. Happy next year, Cowboys Nation.
I'm just excited that for the first time in a while, we don't have to hear the one and done. We're not even in. So we're going to talk about the teams that are in. Y'all can continue to beat me up. I understand, but don't worry. Next year is coming.
We're not out of it yet. I'm very doubtful in the sense of that the Falcons are going to make it. But
so what needs to happen for the Falcons to make it? What needs to happen?
So the Saints need to beat the Bucs, which again I feel like it's happened before, and that's like the Bucs' biggest enemies by far. They always find a way to lose to the Saints, but at the same time, like I don't see that happening this season. And then the Falcons have to beat the Panthers, which. Bryce Young's been looking pretty good lately, so it's tough to say, but you're chalking it all up to divisional rivalries, and I hate that. I'm doubtful, and I don't want to be doubtful, but when you can't control your own fate, what do you do, right? Let's just be honest here.
That is true. That is true.
That's why that game was so big, and
it's huge.
I love that it went down. Well, my heart didn't love that it went down to the wire because I was definitely like, oh my God, please just end this game. Just end it with all the daggone penalties. But each team was in it, took it to overtime. And we knew the loser was going to have a much harder road to get in there.
Yep.
I am hoping y'all get in. Personally, I know we got a lot of people in our group that are Bucs fans that will not want me to hear that. They're all making me.
You got something in the comments right now.
Yeah, there's a lot of NFC people in this chat group.
Oh, absolutely. But they said JD5 is 2 hits away from RG3.
Yeah, see, Jaden Daniels though, even watching the draft, Sean, we talked about it. I wanted him on the Falcons so bad, man. Oh yeah, he is just just looking at him. He to me was the best looking quarterback coming out of that draft.
Yeah,
and it's just shaping up to see just how true that actually is, right? So. I don't know. He's going to be good for years. He's going to be somebody to watch. But it's still a tough division. Take it for what you will. Even with how good the Commanders did this year, Saquon Barkley, man, what a resurgence.
2,000 yards, really? Like
that's crazy.
He's about to beat Eric Dickerson this week.
I know.
He's about to beat him. They're going to make sure they feed him that 100 yards. He's going to get it. We're witnessing history.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a
I'm
beautiful
here for
thing.
it. I'm here for it, man.
Beautiful
thing. For all
they should have gave him to the AFC, man. They cheated.
Yeah, why give him in division? Why you let somebody in division get him?
Come on.
I
like it, coach.
Well, like it is what it is. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, first of all, like, isn't this not his? This is his first time as like a solid head coach, right? Is it not with Raheem Morris? Yeah, because I know he's filled in. He tried filling it in the Falcons. I know he's been on the Bucs too. But no, man, you know, it's inexperience, and that's all it is. Does the team go and move on from him after, you know, he missed some things during this game? No, like he's still done a lot of good this season. You know, like it's still a team that's developing. It's still a team that's trying to find its gel. Like we're now just starting to find our identity. Like our offense as a whole is unbelievable. Like there's not much you need to do with the offense. You can maybe throw in another right tackle, maybe a better center, but like there's not much that I would do with the offense. It's all defense now.
Yeah, definitely the pieces are there.
Yeah, 100%. And just seeing the team like now like actually throwing plays, like I think there's like 2 years where the Falcons couldn't even throw the ball, and they could there was no receptions, no passing yards at all. So I think Raheem Morris is still there. I think he's still the guy. I haven't seen enough to make me think different.
Well, so and look, also we talked about Kirk being out, and now Penix is in, and look, you have the weapons in Pitts, Bijan Robinson, London, all those guys.
That is true.
If you get a full 17 with Penix, man, like. I mean, the sky is the limit. I mean, the division is still struggling. I mean, do you think next year, like, you know, Penix could be?
I don't know. It's tough, man. Here's the thing. Like right now, like even with Johnny, like talking about the Bucs right now were not supposed to be nearly as good as they were. And Baker Mayfield has just been gelling so well there. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I think a lot of it's going to come down to like what kind of pieces move, right? Do we have the capability of winning the division? Sure, but you could say the same thing about the Buccaneers. You can say the same thing about the Saints, right?
Absolutely.
It's tough, but I don't know. If we want to get there and we want to be the team that wins the division, like as bad as it is, you need to start listening to the fans. You need defense. You just need to go defense. Maybe add a couple of wide receivers, sure, but you need edge rushers. You need another cornerback. Like you need some D linemen. Like that's what you need. If you want to go anywhere, like that's what's going to help us win these games now.
That's true.
Yeah. Hey, look, Meets the Door is coming for me in the comments since I said I want the Falcons to make the playoff. Talk about shut your dirty mouth. I'm going to blast you, Sean. Yo, Sean, make sure you enunciate that X. Come on, brother.
Look, they coming for you, Sean. You knew they would.
They coming for me. It's all right.
That's all right, man. You live it up, bro. You live it up.
Exactly. Hey, look, we beat the Falcons. We played the Falcons well. The Bucs whooped our butt. So I'm sorry, Bucs. I still a little bitter. All right.
you lost against the Bucs?
Yes, we did, Janae.
We didn't.
Dallas didn't lose against the Bucs.
We didn't. We didn't lose against them. Twice we didn't lose against them.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, we got to move on. I can't. Yo, Kyle, we appreciate you coming on. Obviously, we're going to bring you back on at the very end to with our special little segment. But yeah, shout out to the Falcons. I'm going to go ahead and do that fly thing for you, my guy.
I can't believe it.
All right, guys. Peace out.
Thank you, Kyle. Thank you, man.
Let's go. Oh, even Detroit lost to us. The Bucs. Oh, y'all, man. Look, we're in the playoffs. Don't worry about everybody else. We're in the daggone playoffs. But look, you know it. You guys are already, you said it, looking towards the offseason. Zeke out. You know, obviously you got Dak. You got CD sitting him for next year.
We need both of them to get healthy for next year. Because you think about it, you know, the shoulder with CD, Dak in his surgery. We got to figure out. They said they're going to be ready in the offseason, but we got to see.
Yeah. So, I mean, what is your goal? Obviously, I was talking to one of my Eagles fans today talking about, hey, man, you know, we want to make a play for Micah. He was like, we want to make a play for Micah.
Not going nowhere, man.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Are you guys planning on signing this guy? I mean, is he on a contract? Like, what's the deal with Micah?
He's only on year 4, so, I mean, we'll have to franchise tag him. If, you know, he's got to give us the 5 years, so we still got the 5th year option plus the franchise tag. We're not letting go of Micah. He's going to get paid. He's going to be a Dallas Cowboy. You know how Jerry feels about his first round picks. It's just not. I mean, everybody's wishful thinking, but it's not happening. We're not getting rid of Micah.
Yeah, Micah. Let me just say this right now. If you want to be on a playoff team next year, that's all I'm saying, Micah.
You always got to
your
start your
coach.
man. All right, we got to move on,
your
ladies and gentlemen, because this guy's trying to now take more of my players after I already got 10.
Right.
Let's move on from that.
Let's go.